In this video, we're going to cover the WordPress page and how to create one. And to do that, we need to first log into our dashboard area, and I've already done that here. And if you've not done that before, then in the browser's address bar up here, you want to put in the URL to your WordPress site, followed by a /wp-admin, hit enter, and then a box is going to pop up prompting you to enter your username and your password, and do that, you'll then be brought to this page. At this point, you want to come on over here to the left and click on Pages, and that'll bring you to the page that contains a list of all of your pages that have been published, scheduled to be published, or are in draft mode. And you'll see that over here on the far right, and the date will be listed right above that. And you can get to the page editor of that particular page by clicking on the title, or when you hover over this section here, these options will be displayed, and you can click on Edit to get to the full editor, or if there's just a couple of minor items, then you can click on the Quick Edit, and you'll be presented with this option here to make just a few of the minor edits, but not the full page edit. Or you can trash it, or you can view it in your browser. And to create a new page, you can do that a couple of different ways, by coming over here to the far left and clicking on Add New under the Pages section, or on the Pages page, you can come up here and click on Add New, or in the admin toolbar, you can hover over the word New, and you'll get this drop down, and you can click on Page. That'll bring you to the page editor, where you can enter the title and the content of that new page. And as soon as you enter the title up here in the title bar and click outside of that, WordPress will assign it the slug or the URL to that page. And if you decide later on that you want to edit the slug, maybe make it smaller or change it altogether, you can do that by clicking on Edit, make the change, click on OK, and then if you've already published this page, you'll have to come over here to the right and click on the Update button, because this button over here will reflect if it needs to be published, or if it needs to be updated, or if it's going to be scheduled for a later publication. And I'll cover that here in just a second. But getting back to the editor box, you've got these formatting options here that are very similar to the formatting options of most any other document processing program like Microsoft Word or OpenOffice. And if you are presented with only the single row of formatting options, then you can click on the toolbar toggle option here on the end, and that will display the remaining row or rows of formatting tools. And then you just enter your content here, and you can do that a couple of ways, just by typing away in either the visual tab, which is kind of like a WYSIWYG or what you see is what you get format, or you can enter it in the text tab, and you have less formatting tools to work with, but you can still do the same thing if you're familiar with writing out the code longhand. But coming back to the visual tab, if you have content already produced elsewhere that you want to copy and paste into the editor window, and that content is already formatted, maybe you've got some clickable links, or you've got some text that's bold or italicized like I have in this example here. This is a clickable link. This text is bolded and this text is italicized, and this is a Word document. And if you wanted to copy and paste something like this and maintain that formatting, then you want to make sure that this text icon does not have a border around it. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to go ahead and paste that content in here by holding the Control key down on my keyboard and hitting the letter V as in Victor. You can see that it's maintained that formatting. Now, it did not carry over the text color, and that might just be a theme issue, but it did carry over the formatting for the clickable link. Let me show you in the text tab. You can see here where it's got the ahref tag. Now, if you did not want to carry over the formatting, if you wanted to get that stripped out, let's go ahead and select this and delete it. Then you would click on this text icon. You'll get this pop-up telling you what you're about to do and how to toggle this on and off. And basically, this is just going to strip out the formatting from that Word document. You can see now that it has a border around that icon. If I Control V to paste that, all the formatting is stripped out. Now, if you wanted to add media to this, like an image or video or anything from the media library, then you can do that by clicking on the Add Media button right here. Just put the cursor somewhere in the editor window where you want that media to be added, and come on up here and click on Add Media, and you can just drag and drop that media file in here, or you can select from content that's already been added to your media library, or you can insert it from a URL. Let's say we want to add the working squirrel here. Just select that, click on Insert into Page, and there it is. And you can click on the image for further formatting. Now up along the top here in the far right, you have this Help tab. It has a drop down with help information related to this particular page, the page editor page. And under screen options, if we click on that, we get this drop down where we can add additional fields or options on our page. For example, if we check the box here next to discussion, that adds the discussion module down here below the editor window, where we can toggle on or off to allow comments and or trackbacks and pingbacks. And one other item up here I wanted to mention, besides the number of columns you can have, either one or the default 2, is this checkbox here. By default, it enables full height editor. In other words, there's no scroll bar here in the editor window. And if we scroll down, you can see the formatting tools stick. But if we untick this box, then the editor window has a predefined height, and anything beyond that height adds a scroll bar to the editor window, and everything else on this page scrolls up to the top. But that's part of the distraction-free functionality. Another element of the distraction-free functionality of the editor page is this button right here in the top right corner under the text tab. If we click on that, the elements on both sides of the editor window, the sidebars, they're going to disappear like they just did. And if you want them back temporarily, just move your cursor outside of the editor window and there they are. And if you want them to go away again with that button on, then just put the cursor somewhere in the editor window and hit enter, and there they go. And that's more of the distraction-free editing. Let's go ahead and turn that off and close up the screen options tab. And over here on the right, you have these different modules. The top one being publish, with different elements there where you can publish it immediately, or if we click on edit, you can see where you can schedule this later. And if we change that to a later date and hit OK, you can see that publish button changes to schedule. You can also save it as a draft if you want to just come back later and work on this to finish it up. And under visibility, by default, once it's published, it's going to be visible to everybody. You can change that by clicking on edit and make it password protected or private, so that only people that have access to this URL will be able to see it. And whatever changes you make here, be sure to click on OK. Otherwise, you're not going to stick. Oh yeah, let's come on back here and make this today, so I can get the publish button. Then you've got page attributes, and depending upon the theme that you're using will depend on the number of templates that you have to choose from here. And if you'd like to add a featured image, then you have that option right here. And these modules can be moved around too. If in the title area you get that 4 arrows, left click, hold and drag your mouse, and you can move those around. And then whenever you're finished editing, just go ahead and click on publish. Oh, and you've got the preview option there as well. And then once it's published, you can see that that publish button changes to update. In case you come back in later and make any adjustments, be sure to click on the update button to make those adjustments stick. But you also have the get short link in case you want a shorter URL than the one that's actually generated. If we come over to view page, this is the normal URL, but you can get that short URL if you'd rather. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on the WordPress page. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.